Good morning, trading fam. So, is that Strait of Hormuz open or closed? Today, we're going to take a look at the charts to see if we can figure this out, because this is really what all of the market volatility is riding on. Today, I want to look at the dollar. I'm going to look at silver and gold. I'm going to look at the SPY, and we're going to take a quick peek at the VIX, what the VIX is doing, and finally we'll end up on Bitcoin to see if we can find a little more clarity on this situation. Okay, so I'm gonna just make this quick. The reason I'm making a video is because I didn't want to post 5 different separate things with each chart. We'll take a look at the dollar first, and of course we've been tracking the dollar from time to time. Just a quick review here. I'm gonna zoom out to the weekly, and we have been in this. Let me see if I can make this chart bigger here. We have been in this channel really since 2017, 2006, excuse me. And, one thing I posted a few weeks ago is we had broken below both this white trend line, which comes all the way from 1984. If I zoom out on the monthly, you'll see where that comes from. All the way back here in 1984. That is a significant trend line, and we need to respect it. Although it is chopping around and chopping that to pieces lately, once we break below that on the monthly with confirmation, it's really all over for the dollar. Now back to this channel here. I may have jumped the gun a bit in my last post. I was looking at the daily, and we see on the daily that we confirmed a break below the channel. Since this channel is so, we've been in it for 20 years, I really should be looking at the weekly and the monthly for confirmation. And you can see on the weekly, we really did not get confirmation. What I like to see is a candle open and close below that channel and another one that follows even lower, and we did not get that. Instead, we got some sideways action. The Gulf of Hormuz was closed and the dollar pumped immediately. Traders betting that the dollar backed by petro would remain strong, and so far they are right. We're back up in that channel and above this descending white trend line from 1984. If we take a closer look here on the daily, we are messing around with that trend line again. But again, what I should be doing here, and what I am advising all of my followers to do, is to follow this, to track this on the weekly and the monthly, because of the length of time that, number one, this white descending trend line has taken to draw since 1984, and also because of the fact that we've been in this channel for 20 years. So it makes sense that we would track that on a larger time frame. So far, that channel remains strong. No confirmation. We are breaking. We are testing. We are threatening to drop. The dollar is threatening to drop, but so far it remains strong. And if I'm looking here on the daily, we are bouncing off of this descending white trend line. A bounce on the dollar should mean a drawback in the stock market, in possibly commodities and also Bitcoin. And actually, that is what I'm seeing. So we're going to jump to gold next. And I'm here on the dollar, and you can see we just have, I've outlined this trend with this, white arrow. Drop down, we have a bear flag, drop down again, another bear flag. We may have a little ways up to go in gold, but eventually I think we're going to drop from this bear flag, and gold is going to drop even further. If we correlate that with silver, The same thing can be seen on the silver chart. And I've been posting a lot about silver lately. And I do think that silver is ready to drop again. Now, originally, I was thinking we would come down to $54 to $60. I'm a little less sure of that lately, only because of this. See this red trend line that comes all the way from August of 2025? That is a significant trend line. So if we drop from this second bear flag, I'm thinking a sure bet is at least a test of that red trend line. So that is my first target. That's where I DCA in most of my cash reserves. If we break through that, I'll have a little left on the side to DCA in as we come down to the potential target. Again, I'm not as sure as I once was that we will touch that target. We already did touch it. I made that a target a long time ago, and we did touch that here in March of 2026. Now you can see, guys, we're at the top of this second bear flag, testing it. And I don't think, if I was a gambling man, I would not bet that we're going to break to the top side of that and continue up. I am betting, and you can see as noted by my arrow here, that we test the top of that channel and we're going to come down. That bear flag is going to play out, and we'll at least touch that trend line somewhere around $67 to $70. All right. I have this trend outlined on the silver SLV chart. No, I don't. Okay. Anyways, it's the same. It's kind of the same deal as gold. We just chop around, create a bear flag, come down further. So this gold and silver also correlates with what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. All right. So if I zoom out here on Bitcoin, again, you guys that have been following me for quite some time know I call the top here when we touch the pi cycle top, which, again, for review, for those of you have not been following me, I'm going to zoom out here to the weekly, actually. This is the top that has come all the way from our first top way back in December 2017, drawing that line through to the second top in April of 2021. And then here we tested it again most recently 3 times in July of 2025, in August of 2025, in September of 2025, and once again in October of 2025. 4 times we tested that, could not break it. It was just simply wick ups, and I knew we were going to collapse at that point. There were multiple indicators, including wick off, head and shoulders. I had all sorts of things going on showing me we're going to drop, and we did. We did. All right. So again, that pattern is the same as we see in gold and silver. A drop, a bear flag, a drop, and we're in another bear flag, guys. And I do think we're going to have one more flush in Bitcoin before we actually see the bottom. And that's also denoted by the fact that a lot of bulls are coming out of the woodwork claiming this is the bottom. And when I see so much news, and the Moon Boys, peeking their heads out from behind the trees again and calling a bottom, I know that there's probably going to be one more flush. Retailers will be used as exit liquidity, and longs, the whales and smart money will get in again on that final flush. All right. And we're seeing that also on the S&P 500. I'm going to go to the SPX chart first. All right. This is the, and I'm going to have to bring up, I don't think I have liquidity on this one. So let's go to the SPY chart. But for the purpose of showing you this channel again, in the S&P 500, we have been in a channel, this one since 2017. Yes, so this is the one we've been in since 2017, been in this channel. And I think we will come down in at least, as I've been saying for, it feels like at least half a year, we're going to test the middle of that channel or potentially the bottom of the channel before we find a bottom. All right. And the bottom of that channel right now, where it stands today, is right around 5,300 to 5,500, depending where we hit the bottom of that channel. You know, that is an ascending channel, so it is rising as time goes on. I have this drawn out on the SPY as well, but not quite as accurately as the SPX denotes. All right, so recently I posted, well, let's go back. I did think that we were forming a head and shoulders pattern here. Let's just see if I can scribble this out real quick. You know, this would be a shoulder, this would be the head, and then I thought this might form a right shoulder and we drop. However, that was not the case. We dropped from this neckline and then it was quickly invalidated as news about this war in Iran went back and forth. So when a head and shoulders pattern is invalidated, 85% of the time they do play out, but when they are invalidated, the news and the FOMO is huge, and people will pile back in, and that's exactly what we're seeing happen. However, I want to draw your attention to the volume here. All right, notice how low this volume is with this pump up. All right, that is medium to low volume. So I posted in the last static post here on my Substack and TradingView and all my social media platforms that I believe this is sort of it's a reverse Adam and Eve pattern. This is the Eve, this is the Adam, and I think we're seeing our top, and you can see by that candle there, it's a bearish engulfing candle, that kind of supports the idea. I'm not saying that will be the exact top yet. Whenever you have a blow off top, it's unpredictable. I can't predict it, and most people can't. But I'm saying that it appears, just judging from that candle, that we're nearing a top, and we have already blown above this channel. And on the weekly, we have to confirm it. I don't think that's going to happen. We spiked above. I think next week we're going to start to see some selling pressure ensue, and retailers, which I was getting at with the volume here, they're going to be used as exit liquidity. In my last post, I posted 60 insider trades. All of them were short except for one. All of them were short except for one. Do I need to say it again? So insiders are betting on the short side. I am with the insiders. This is looking to me bearish. Again, I never say anything full on 100% confidently, but I am confident enough to have my own personal trades, at least in cash, and siding with the short side. In fact, most of my trades on my copy trade portfolio are on the short side at this point. I exited Oklo, my only long trade, on Friday with 27% profits. You guys that follow me know that I exited that trade. We made 27% profit. I'm happy with that. I'll take my profit and run. One more thing I want to look at here, and then I'm going to end this video, is the VIX. All right, so the VIX is back down. Notice where it's at, guys. It is on this trend line right here. All right, and that is a bullish engulfing candle. Even though it's a bearish red candle, it's a bullish engulfing candle, meaning I don't think the VIX is going to drop below this trend line and continue down. I think next week we're going to get new news. In fact, we already have. Trump says the strait is open. Iran claims that's not true. The strait is still closed. All this back and forth is giving traders excuse me, a big headache in trading. So we have to look to the charts to read the headlines before they happen. That's why we do these charts, guys, because a lot of times the charts will tell us what's going on. So current sentiment, I think the VIX is going to start spiking again. I think the S&P 500 is going to start tanking. I think along with that, commodities, including gold and silver and Bitcoin, will start tanking. I think the dollar spiking is indicating that that will happen as well. Whenever the dollar spikes, that's a stronger dollar. That means it takes less dollars to purchase a thing, including gold, silver, and Bitcoin, and all of your stocks. All right, so that's where I'm at. And with that, I'm going to end this video. Peace, y'all.